Welcome. Thanks for stopping by the channel again, guys. You're watching 412 PSC Customs on YouTube. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Matt Sr., founder and CEO of 412 Public Safety Equipment Customs here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So, I'm doing this video today because I had actually a chance to grab a hold of a brand new old stock pair of SoundOff Signals LED3 surface mount lights. No, these are not the LED3 Plus that they're selling now. The LED3 Plus has a little bit more features and patterns and stuff in it. You know, they run a little bit different. This is one of their first generation designs. I mean, they've kept the same design. They've just upgraded the electronics, I guess, that run it and control it. Very popular light, although SoundOff has, re-engineered so many other different products since developing this. These are super popular. I have to say, I know I probably say this about all the lights in this class. The brightness of these is absolutely impressive. This is part of that 3 LED revolution where all manufacturers were trying to mix up the TIR cone optic with the fluted lens, or however they decided to widen their beam spread. It's a basic light, definitely designed completely different from how the other manufacturers designed their lights of the same class. You basically have the cast aluminum base. That's what holds the electronics and the LEDs. Then there's a rubber gasket. I mean, that was the only thing I didn't really like about these, was you have the rubber gasket that you have to get on there and kind of compress it and get it all perfectly right whenever you put that lens back on. But these are really simple. They have caddy corner mounting bolts. As you can see, these ones are on a factory 90-degree L bracket. SoundOff Signals always been really good about their wire leads and their cabling. Always had a cable come out, multi-conductor cable. They never did the single leads, although I think they're doing them on the M-Powers now. So yeah, I was able to grab a set of these in red. They're both red, single color. I'm not sure if they make dual color. I don't think that they do, but they may in these. I'm not sure. I haven't really had much exposure to them since the M-Powers came out. That's what everybody's wanting these days. But these are going to be a donation to a local fire department. So hey, if anybody watching knows a deserving fire department that may be struggling and needs some upgraded equipment, definitely leave a comment down below, give me a heads up, and I'll definitely consider it. I don't have these given away yet. I'm still in the process of deciding where they're going to go, what their new permanent home is going to be. One thing I will say, I don't want you guys to flood me with all kinds of messages saying, hey, I'm out here in California and we have a department that's definitely deserving. Not that I don't believe that. We do all of our donations locally within the tri-state area, so Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. Just because I personally take this equipment out And 9 times out of 10, I also install the equipment for the fire departments. That's a part of my donations when we do them. But just a little bit about this light. The input voltage on these is 10 to 16 volts. The current consumption is about a half an amp. So, you know, very little current draw. These run the generation 3 LEDs. So I'm sure we're up to generation 8 by now. These do have a synchronization technology, although these use kind of the same idea as Whelen does with the different phasings. These, you actually can sync up to 4 of these together. And each one of those, well, boy, let me see. No, let me rephrase that. You can synchronize up to 4 groups. So that would be a total of 16, because you can synchronize in each group 4 lights. So if you used all 4 groups, you could synchronize up to 16. These are kind of weird about how they program, and I'll let you guys, I'll kind of give you guys an idea how you do it. So what you do is you hook your black to the ground, obviously, and then you have to put a positive 12 volts to your white and your red. Once you do that, your light head will flash once, twice, 3 times, or 4 times, and that's how you know what group it's in. Now, to change that group, once you have powered up the white and the red, you take the red off of a positive 12 volts, and then you momentarily touch it to ground. Every time you touch it to ground, just like when you're changing a flash pattern, it'll change groups. As long as it's flashing twice, you're in group 2. If it's flashing 3 times, you're in group 3. Now, they do recommend, though, if you're only synchronizing a pair of these, such as these, set your master to group 1 and your, well, I'm going to call it a slave here, but I really should start using the parent-child mode that Code 3 came up with. So this one, instead of setting this one to group 2, it actually synchronizes better in an alternating pattern if you set this one to group 3. So that's what they recommend, but that's on an alternating basis. If you want these to synchronize together, you keep them on the same group. So like I said, if you had 4 of these, or okay, let's say you had 8 and you wanted 2 of them to flash at the same time and you did them in groups, you could do that. You would just do 2 is group 1, 2 is group 2, 2 is group 3, and 2 is group 4, and then depending on your pattern choice, they would flash accordingly. All right, so I guess that's enough about these. I'm gonna fire these up, and we're gonna check out these flash patterns while we have them here. Okay, without further ado, here we have it. Here's our SoundOff LED3 surface mounts. I apologize if you're not seeing them very well. The one is not cooperating very well. I can't get it to lay down very well. Of course, that first pattern that you saw whenever I started these up, that is my favorite pattern. That's probably the one that I would choose. I'll let you know whenever I get to the one that one of our neighboring departments has running on their utility. do believe the new LED3 Plus have somewhere in a ballpark of 33 patterns. These definitely do not have that many, but there's still quite a few. I think there's 18, 19. So this is the pattern. If you watch the video of the donated install and lights that I did for East Deer Township, little, it was utility 134 as a matter of fact, because they're Firehouse 134 around here. I did in the video I added the Lindsay 6s to the bed of the pickup, and then I added a set of Code 3 Taurus optic 3 LED light heads up on the cap up top. They have a pair of these down on the rear bumper, mounted directly to the bumper, and this is the pattern they chose for those. I think it's pretty effective. It works for that truck. It looks all right. They're really into aggressive patterns. They do a lot of MVA calls, so you know, they're out on the highways with drivers whizzing by them, and you know, so they prefer a little bit more aggressive patterns than most of the departments that we work with. Although most of the studies these days, of course, teach us that more dormant patterns, you know, with less flash are more effective, especially in the case of stationary vehicles. So once you get to the scene, and you know, whether you're blocking lanes or, you know, no matter what you're doing, it has been researched that the slower patterns are much more effective and less, what's the word I'm looking for? Less distracting to motorists. You'll see these even have a California Title 13 pattern specific to these two. And speak of the devil, there it is. The master goes to steady burn, and then you get that flash, and then there's one more. Gives you a triple burst on the slave. I think this is kind of like the last couple patterns that Phoenix uses on like their cannons and such. It's more of an attempt to mimic the older strobe tubes, how they always had that quick second of downtime. And we're back to my choice of pattern. So there you guys go. I just figured I would share these with you. I was pretty excited whenever I had the opportunity to snag these up to donate to one of our volunteer fire companies. So like I said, again, these will be a donation. They will be donated locally. I normally also throw in installation on my equipment donations. If you guys have any recommendations of any local firehouses that you would like to see us make a donation to, definitely put them down below. Shoot us an email, you know, get a hold of us and let us know, and we can reach out to them and put them into the pot of consideration. And hey, you never know, I may end up in your neck of the woods hanging out doing an installation for your local fire department. All right, guys, thank you so much again for taking the time to hang out with me today. If you like this video and you want to see more like it, smash that thumbs up button. Greatly appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and that bell icon. I've been told you will get severely ill if you do not. I'm just telling you what they tell me. Share this with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your friends' friends, because you never know where there's a first responder that can benefit from our services, our equipment, our expertise, the content in our channel. Try to get this to reach as far as possible. We are a family and first responder owned and operated company, so every one of us is a first responder. Majority of us are volunteers. We have been doing this a very, very long time. I hate to admit that I'm old, but we have been doing this a very, very long time, so we are considered highly respected industry experts. What else do I gotta say? Oh, be kind to one another. Remember, from my daughter's kindness club, hashtag be the kind kid. No matter where you're at, be the kind kid. No matter if somebody is not being kind to you, no matter if somebody is treating you like, you know, the worst person on earth, kill them with kindness, man. I'm telling you, kill them with kindness. That's what we need. All right, guys, I appreciate it. I'm gonna cut this off right here. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Until next time, be safe out there.